Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. I think we're going to go ahead and just call this the Jorah episode. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, my cat snuck downstairs with me today. And, when he gets downstairs and I'm working here, it's just, it's a disaster. You can't do anything. He just crawls on everything. All right, buddy, we see. We'll try to get through this with the cat here. I don't know if it's going to work. April 4th. All right. April 4th, 115 days from Lake Placid, waiting at 2:20 today. Decent day yesterday, guys. Let's talk about today first. It's warm outside. First of all, I'm late. What are you doing, cat? I'm late. Woke up a little bit later today. A little bit. I don't know. I think I got out at 6:15. I got to Dunkin' Donuts, which is late for me. Usually I'm podcasting by then. Good news is, A, it was warm. B, it's light out. It was the first time I pulled into Dunkin' Donuts, and I was late, so sure that helps, but I wasn't that late, 15 minutes. And it's getting lighter out in the morning, and that's really good news for people who work out in the morning. Who, I'm not going out on a bike ride when it's dark, and B, I don't even like to run when it's dark. I know a lot of you guys battle. You guys do that. Good for you. I'm impressed. It's not for me, but this morning it's light out, and I love on the weekends being able to kind of check off that bike ride super early. As soon as the day breaks. It's just, if you're going to spend a few hours out on the bike, you might as well just get it done and have the rest of the day for yourself. And it's, you go in the morning. I would say I probably, I raise the slight risk of being attacked by a bear and no one seeing it. These are things I worry about. But there's no one there. You run into not many people on the trails. The few streets that I do cross, there's less cars or less chance of a car. And I always like to tilt those odds in my favor. These are the things I think of. But yeah, it's getting warm and it's getting light out. So great stuff, guys. This is great news. Maybe we'll have a spring after all. Yesterday's workouts. Didn't really have a plan. I think after 2 days of running, an 8-miler, that was pretty hard, and a 5-mile, that was even harder. Didn't want to run again, wanted to kind of stay off the legs. I could tell kind of when my legs are good sore versus bad sore, and they kind of started feeling a little bit heavy, like a little bit more bad sore. So I kind of wanted to take it easy yesterday. I did my yoga again. Did the yoga second day straight, very happy with it. I'm going to continue doing that today. I went to the gym. I still don't have my bike. Hopefully it's coming back today. If not, it should be coming back tomorrow at the very latest. I'm in withdrawal over not having my bike in the house. It's annoying, but I went to the gym yesterday. I jacked up the tension and pushed out just a half an hour on the bike just because I just needed to do something, meaning the stationary bike. So, it's not your bike. It feels a little weird. I thought that the bike would have wattage, but it didn't. So I didn't even know how hard I was pushing. All I knew is I knew the cadence, which was 90 to 95, which pretty, whatever. It is what it is. Obviously, it depends on how much tension is on there, that how much you're actually working. But I felt like I worked really hard. I only did a half an hour, but, it was one of those when I was done with that half an hour, I couldn't get away with kind of just walking away from the machine without cleaning the sweat up off the floor. So I had to do that, which is always a little satisfying, right? When you go to the gym and when you're done, you look down and the machine's a disaster and you got to do a whole big cleanup, you call in a crew to wipe your sweat off the floor. It feels good though. It's just, it's confirmation that you worked hard, even if you only did a half an hour. And it's funny, some days I have to stop and I have to think, a half an hour used to be a great workout for me. And I was thinking about it when I was riding, and I was like, all right, I that's all really my goal was, if I had a little extra energy, I might have kicked out a little more, but I wanted to get at least a half an hour done. And I got a really good half an hour done. And when I was thinking about on the treadmill, or excuse me, on the bike, I'm like, when I first started running, I couldn't even run a mile. I was doing like a quarter mile. I mean, how long were my workouts? I mean, maybe I walked a bunch of it, but, if I ran a quarter mile and then walked, a mile and a half, say, which probably I didn't even do, I mean, that's going to it'd probably take me a half an hour. If just the running part alone didn't even take me 10 minutes. So, when you come a long way sometimes when you're like, all right, let me do an easy day and push out 30 solid minutes on a bike, versus, 5 years ago when I first stepped out there, I was like, oh, let me get a workout in, and I run for 3 minutes and I got to stop. So some days, you got to take it easy on yourself. So I did the bike, came home later on at night. I just felt like I needed to do a little bit more. I hopped on the elliptical and did 30 minutes. Again, that was all I wanted. That was all I wanted. And those two little workouts probably burned me about 800 calories to 900 calories. And again, I use calories more not as the traditional plus minus for weight loss necessarily, but as a measure of how much work you did. So I feel good about that. I feel good about kind of like on a down day, I got those 20 minutes of yoga in and did 30 minutes on the bike and 30 minutes on the elliptical. That's a pretty good down day, I think. So moving forward to today, what'd I do today? No, well, I got to do the yoga in the morning. That's my new thing, right? Got to get that beginner yoga all week. It started Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, beginner yoga. That's going to be my thing. Next week, we're going to roll into a different yoga program. Why? Because I'm an expert now. I'm an expert now. But no, I don't know. Yeah, it's a beginner yoga program, and it's a lot of sort of sitting around and kind of listening and learning. But you do get a good stretch, better stretch than I was getting in, which was 0. And you kind of have to like baby these things, I think. You have to kind of go in slow when you've never done it. And I am not flexible at all. Things don't bend for me. Nothing bends. My knees don't bend. My elbows don't bend. My back doesn't bend. Yeah, crazy. But we'll start off with that. I want my bike back so bad. I just want it back. We're going to roll that into a swim later in the morning. We'll get a swim done. I've been doing really good. Just two swims a week. That's all I want. 2 swims a week. And which is more than I was doing in the beginning of the year. So we'll do the swim workout in the morning. Tonight is going to depend on A, if I get my bike back, and B, the weather. So I'm going to leave that kind of open. So if I get my bike back and it's nice out, I'm going outside and riding. I just feel like I need to do that. If it's not nice out, or if it's dark by the time it won't be dark, but if it's dark by the time I can get on the bike, I'll probably just throw it on the trainer and do like a Zwift race or something. If I don't get my bike back, it's going to be a run. And again, same sort of principle. If it's nice out, I might go for an outdoor, and it's still light, I might go for an outdoor run. And if it's not, or if it's too late, then I'll be on the treadmill. And then the cat's attacking some paper back there. I hope you guys don't hear that. So that's the plan for today. And I gotta say, I kind of like being. You can see kind of where my brain is. Maybe like I like. I guess one of the benefits of not having a coach or being your own coach, I would say, is that you have this flexibility. That I don't have to make a phone call. I don't have to do. I just look. I don't have my bike today. I want to ride it. Maybe I'll get it. Then I could ride it. But if I don't get it, then I have to run. Like all these different scenarios that that play out in my head. That need as long as you're disciplined enough to do it, I feel like I can do it. Anyway, what else do I got? I feel like I had things to say. I did. You know what? There's been a little bit of static on the podcast the last few times, and I started trying to analyze what was wrong and figure out what was wrong. And I think, I got a table here that's full of wires, and it probably looks disgusting. And I don't know. I have my GoPro here, and everything is just a disaster. But one of the things that I've been using for years is I bought this little interface that connects to my digital recorder here, and the thing that connects it is this little wire, and the wire that I used to use was like my guitar wire. That it was like a $10 Guitar Center wire that I bought. It was like a 20-foot wire that used to just sit right on the desk, like I needed 20 feet. It's like 2 feet away. So yesterday we were out and we stopped at Guitar Center. I bought a new wire, one that's meant less for guitar and more for recording, and one that's 3 feet instead of 20. So I won't have this big giant pile of wires. I bought another microphone wire too. I'm very happy with my purchases yesterday. Everything's trying to get more compact, more efficient for podcasting, as opposed to just slapping this thing together. It's been 3 years. You would think I'd have this all under control by now, but I don't. But I'm very excited about it. But yeah, we had the Jeff Galloway interview, and in the beginning there was a little bit of static, and it drove me nuts because it was one of my favorite interviews. And I think I had some static a couple times. I know when I had Kat Morrissey here, I had to cut out like a whole 3-minute portion of the podcast because it didn't record at all. So just happy that, I feel like more legit when I get new stuff. I feel like it's, I don't know, like, I'm not giving up on this stuff. I love this stuff. Anyway, yeah, those of you guys on the message board yesterday, June Walker has this business, this Grandma Junie's Potty Mouth. I think that's what it's called. Look it up. It's worth it. She got a blog too, and she is freaking hilarious. A wonderful woman. She's helping us out with the Ordinary Marathon, and what she does, she takes these water bottles and I don't know if she glazes them. She like transforms them into better water bottles, and she made 3 of them for the Ordinary Marathon. 2 of them we're gonna be giving away. One of them was for Max's Mile. And we're giving that one to Debbie Early, or she's giving. I'll give her the credit. She's giving it to Debbie Early, and it just was such a great moment. And Steph and I were driving in the car yesterday, and we were thinking like of all these little things, like this moment, like June and Debbie. They don't know each other. They know each other through our website, through our discussion group on Facebook. By the way, Ordinary Marathoners, register, sign up. And June goes out of her way just to do something so nice for Debbie, to make, and Max was Debbie's dog that was involved in the Ordinary Marathon last year, and sadly passed away about 3 or 4 months ago. And it really, it's still, Debbie's just one of these people that really loved her dog, and you could see why. Like, just the pictures that they took together last year at the Ordinary Marathon were you could just tell they're, I don't know. I have the same relationship with my dog. I think my dog's he's 11, he's turning 12, and every year I feel like it's like a countdown. Dogs just don't live long enough, and so just such a great moment for June. She wrote a blog post and she put a picture of the water bottles that she's going to give away, and Debbie saw the Max's Mile one, so we had to tell her that that was the one that we're giving to her. And just such a great moment. Because I could just tell, like, Debbie's so genuine, and she was really appreciative of it. And, because not everyone gets the whole, I don't think everyone gets the whole, how attached people get to their dogs. And Junie certainly does. So it was just a great moment. And it was just something that, when we do this podcast, it's like moments like that wouldn't have happened if, I hate to make it personal because it feels like making it my moment, but it wasn't. But just makes all this stuff worthwhile. That's all I wanted to say. It makes the training worthwhile. It makes, the podcast worthwhile, all the time we put into it. And listen, you can be a part of all this. You can be a part of the Facebook group. Just go on over to that Facebook page and sign up. You can be a part of the Ordinary Marathon. Go to ordinarymarathon.com and register. And let me tell you, this race, I get the virtual race thing. I get it. I know a lot of people look at it and they don't sign up. I can run why do I have to pay for it? This race is fun. It's fun. It's fun, God damn it. As my voice cracks. But get on over there and register. We got a lot of exciting things coming up in the next few months. I'm very happy, very excited about it, including the race itself, which is at the end of this month. I think time just flies so fast. So fast. Anyway, glad my cat stayed off the desk for most of the podcast. Could have ruined it. And I don't know. I'm gonna get after it today, guys. I hope you do too. Get those plans in your mind. Know when you're doing your stuff. Grab that routine. Take hold. Let it take over. I tell you one thing that I didn't do. I know it sounds like I'm kind of wrapping up here, and you guys are probably getting excited, but now I'm going to continue. Last night, and this is one of the reasons I didn't wake up this morning. Last night, I sat in bed, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, I think. Sometimes I forget about what I talked about in yesterday's podcast because it's so early in the morning and I'm getting old. Sat in bed, and, I did my elliptical. Afterwards, I ate a little and showered up, went to bed, and sat there with the screen in my freaking hand. I talked about this yesterday. I shouldn't be doing it. And I go through the Facebook, but one of the things I do, is I try my hardest to interact with you guys on the discussion group, and sometimes I don't do it as much as I should. And I try my hardest to interact with you guys on Twitter. But it's a busy day. Waking up, exercising, Ironman training, doing the podcast, working on things all day, and trying to keep up with social media. And it's really hard sometimes. And sometimes I don't have any. The first chance I get to do it is like at night. So get out of the shower, sit in bed, scrolling through. Answer this post, answer that post this, post that, do whatever. Tweet here, like this, follow this guy, follow that person. Tell someone I'm going to listen to their podcast, even though I'm not going to. I just don't have time. And then you look down, it's 11:30. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And then I wake up late today, and I'm like, listen, man, you gotta figure out what's important here. Like, what's important? I love you guys on social media. I do. It's just what's important to me right now is getting to this race and finishing. And the sleep is more important. Unfortunately. Social media is there. It's nice. It's a nice thing. And we've met wonderful people, and I'm going to put some time in it. It's just, I can't sit in bed from 10 o'clock to 11:30 scrolling through messages when sleep is so much more important during training. And I feel like I see and I'm not going to point fingers but I know a lot of people spend all day on this thing. What are you doing? And really, listen, guys, I'm not judging. I'm judging myself because I'm sitting there and it's 11:30, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, and I'm on my screen. What am I doing? This is, I have a business to promote, right? And I love talking to you guys on the discussion group and on Twitter. I do. But to spend so much time sitting in front of the screen when you have, other priorities. And I find myself doing it during the day too. It's not just at night. And I would say it's probably one of the reasons why some days I'm like, I got to go to the gym and swim. I'll go at 10. I'll go at 10:30. I'll go at 11. I'll go at 12. I'll go after lunch. You guys do this, right? Please don't tell me I'm the only one. And in a way, it's my bread and butter. This is how I found most of you guys is social media. So it does have its uses. But, I don't know. That's my social media rant for this morning. And I hate to say that I got to spend less time on it. I just got to spend my time more wisely on it. How about that as a conclusion? I got to spend my time more wisely on social media. Another thing I've been doing. Again, you thought I was going to end, and now I'm going to continue. I go on YouTube and I look for tips on how to improve the YouTube channel. Some of my favorite videos are like the photography people that they know how to set your camera and they know what angles that you should be using. And I learn a lot. And granted, I think this is still in many ways sort of like a 2-bit production. Only because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing and I just do it. That's just the way I work. And yeah, I think that things have improved over time. Even the YouTube channel is improving. But I watch these videos to try to learn and try to improve, and I come across so many useless crap videos. And it just and what astounds me isn't just the uselessness of these videos, but how many hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people that have watched these useless videos. How to make $1 million on YouTube, how to make a living on YouTube, how to do this, how to do that. And yeah, maybe these people like snuck in and somehow got in the niche, but you know what? Whatever it's going to be for, if it happened to me, it would be a lot of hard work. And, the phoniness of it's insane. And it's not even so much how bad these videos are. It's how many people spend their time watching them. Obviously, including me. Including me. And it's really hard to glean the quality content from the crap on YouTube. There's so much of it. And so, what I kind of like to do is I fall into my, I look at certain Ironman videos and certain athletes that train and post things. And, we had Triathlon Taran, and he's got a couple good ones up there that I'll watch, or he's got a couple, anything about working out or swimming. Sometimes he does some product reviews and stuff that I don't bother with, but, I don't know. I try to find podcasts that I like and that I know are going to be productive for me and stick with those, not podcast videos. And I watch, I watch how they cut these videos, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this needs to be, and because maybe I'll wind up doing this and then you guys will laugh at me. But when did we stop having pauses in between sentences? Have you guys noticed this? Watch how people cut their YouTube videos. It's like our attention spans are so gone that, just go back and listen to some of my sentences. You hear that pause between the sentence? This pause? They remove that pause in editing because we don't have the attention spans anymore to wait for a full sentence. We have to go into the next sentence immediately after we end the last sentence. Has any of you guys noticed this? It's insane. Nobody talks like this. What's going on, people? And this is like the technique that people use. And it's not just one person, many people. And maybe I'm getting old, and maybe this is my curmudgeon self, not conforming to the way that people are. People can't wait 0.25 seconds for that little delay for the next sentence. We have to cut that out now. So that you can be fed information quicker, because if your attention span, you will lose you in 0.25 seconds. At least that seems to be the tactic. Who does this? I'm going to have to do this soon. This is my competition. This is what I'm up against. I'm up against millennials. How can I compete against millennials? How can I compete against millennials that are going to spend their time with their camera carrying their camera everywhere? Today, I'm going to take my camera to Panera. We actually did that. Sam did that. She was really good too. It's insane. The environment around YouTube is insane. Anyway, listen, I got to wake my daughter up. She's got to go to school. So let's get out of here. Let's get your day done. Get the things that you want to have done. Get those done. Prioritize, set the routine, get it done. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Remember, every day is an ordinary day. It takes you to make it extraordinary. So get after it.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.